fight. So much to cover this week. The world of Australian boxing is going crazy. As always, my co-host Shannon O'Connell, Joel Camilleri. Shotgun, how are you?
I'm actually better than I sound, but I'm trying to put that real man voice on.
Single mum, 3 kids, gym owner. She's lost her voice, and also she talks to Kama. Kama, how are you?
I'm always good, mate. That's
the way. Now let's get started. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, guys. We've got to wrap Sydney, obviously Gallen, Huni. We've got to wrap the Nissan Arena with Rowan Murdoch and Les Sherington. We look towards the charity event with Ace Boxing Promotions and Mark Flanagan and Ben Kelleher, and so much more. Let's get started. So I guess, guys, we have to move to wrapping the Sydney Fight Night, Gallen v Huni. We start with Whateley versus Oganov. Pretty much went the way we thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I think the fight went like as everyone expected. They fought before. Jason Whateley and Oganov was going to go one way.
Swizz and I knew straight away that there was going to be fireworks in the crowd because we were with Jai and we knew that Jason was there. The photo opportunity happened. They smiled for the photo opportunity. As soon as that happened, social media exploded. Yeah. Jai saying that Jason Whateley's got levels to go before he's even allowed to be in the ring with Jai, and Jason responding saying that he can't wait to be bouncing his knuckles off his head. It was great to watch that go back and forth, Shotgun.
Yeah, for sure. I think, at the moment, Jai doesn't have many other options, obviously, unless they bring someone in for him. So, I do think that there is a bit of more of a level change there, but there's no other opponent for him. So, possibly a comment that shouldn't have been made.
Kama.
I think, as Jai said, there's levels to this game, and I don't think that he's at Jai's level right now. So I think Whateley should have a couple more fights. From a management point of view, I wouldn't be putting in Whateley with Jai Batea.
And I guess as well, that's smart as well, because if they skip everyone else and go straight to Jai, then who are they going to fight later?
From there, we move to a great performance from Sam Goodman and Nort Beauchamp. Sam looking really sharp.
Yeah, he was super impressive. I thought that he did a better job with Nort than Brock did.
Kama.
No, I was impressed. So he's got a fan in me as well, and he did a real good job.
Sam Goodman looked like he just wouldn't let Nort get out of first gear. So that's showing how good Sam Goodman is, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. From there, we move to a very interesting fight: Alex Hannon versus Andrei Mikhailovich. Now, before the fight started, when the referee got the gloves touched up, Hannon's hit him with kind of like a left rip.
That's a good shot too.
Before the fight has even started,
to
try and get inside Andrei Mikhailovich's head. Obviously, it didn't work. Mikhailovich getting rid of him in the second round, looking pretty strong.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think trying to rev up someone like Mikhailovich like that is only going to get him going, because I didn't read until after the fight about, his upbringing and his childhood and things like that are going to drive him. They're not going to break him.
The Australian public knows who Andrei Mikhailovich is now, Camo.
Yeah. I don't agree with that, the before the bell kind of shot. I don't know, can you get disqualified before the bell goes?
Absolutely,
sure.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that should have been disqualification.
If he'd taken a knee, fight over.
Yeah. I was with Alex the week before, and all respect to him, but that's not on. You don't hit someone. I seen Andre 10th, so he's obviously hitting decently.
Yeah. And it wasn't just a shot.
Wasn't. And I'm glad that you're hitting Joel already on this episode. It seems like something that's reoccurring on each episode. There's going to have to be some gloves up with these two.
Talk and actions, whatever, but you don't hit someone before the bell. But at the end of the day, it was a great fight. Alex landed some great shots too, but Andre just landed the biggest shots and put him away.
Look, Mikhailovich, by his own admission, ate that overhand right, but wow, did he compose himself well. Lots of upper body movement, lots of head movement. He slipped to 3 or 4 after that. A lot of the times when you get hit with that kind of shot, you open yourself up for at least 1 or 2 after that. He instantly knew what was going on and moved and slipped away from those other punches, and then just looked entirely too strong. But calls out Hardman straight away, and they're both at DNL. Some fireworks there, Shotgun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't really blame him for calling out Hardman. Everyone wants to take that step up. They are at different levels in their career, but I personally think it would be a decent fight.
From there, we move to Isaac Hardman and Manuel Carlos. Look, a very flashy first 4 rounds from both boys. Manuel looked like he was in there and hanging with him, but obviously the big highlight reel from Isaac Hardman to win that fight and putting him in top 16 across 3 sanctioning bodies. A great move from DNL. Good to get those belts. Good to get that ranking.
I think Isaac Hardman, that's the best he's boxed. He's improving with his boxing a bit more, and you could see him slowly breaking him down.
As I said before the fight, the reason why Hardman would win because he's more consistent, he's accurate with his shots, and he's very fit. Everyone said Manuel Carlos died out. He just gets hit too much. He's so flashy, he's got a lot of skills, he's exciting to watch, but every single time he punches, he gets hit, and I felt as though his guard was always up, but he wasn't responding to punches. So, yeah, when you're eating that many shots against someone as strong as Hardman, it's going to end one way.
If Emmanuel decided to come back and put his time and effort back into it and have proper full camps, is he a chance to still make interesting fights in the middleweight division? I think so.
Oh, absolutely. I think, Hardman's proven now that he's above that Australian standard. I guess, he's that one step ahead of it. So I think Emmanuel Carlos is definitely at the top of the Australian standard.
And look, the Australian public getting to know who Emmanuel Carlos was, obviously making the project on Channel 10 with the weigh-in, flexing up the way he did. A couple of the panel members on the project really enjoyed that. Yeah. So he got a bit of national recognition there. That was good. Hardman getting a private jet from Under Armour, flying him back. That was amazing. So look, so much positivity came out of that, and both boys getting very emotional at the interviews at the end of the fight. So it was great to see right across the board with that fight. From there, we move to Paul Gallen versus Justice Huni. So much to talk about with this fight. We've got to get through it. Broken rib from the second round, shotgun for Gallen.
What an athlete. What a man. Whoa. Most people hurt their finger and pull out of a fight. He fought for 8 rounds or 7.5 rounds with a broken rib. That's insane. Never
won a round, Kemmer?
No, I didn't win a round. He won a lot of fans though. Tough as nails, and everyone was saying he copped a lot of punishment, but he just kept going. He did not want to quit, and he showed a big, tough chin and big heart.
So there's obviously a video has emerged in regards to the referee and Gallen's corner arguing. The referee calling the fight to a stoppage. Gallen's corner saying that they should have let the fight go. He wasn't going to win anyway. He should have let him go out on his sword as a man. Your thoughts, shotgun, on the fight being stopped early?
I believe it got stopped perfectly when it did. Mm-hmm. But other than that, yes, Gallen was getting belted, but he was showing that he wanted to still be there. If a fighter shows that they don't want to be there, the ref will give them that chance. And I mean, Phil Austin is big on it. He'll say, show me something, show me something. Gallen kept showing something. He showed that he wanted to be there. He showed that he didn't want to quit. I don't think there's any reason for a blow-up that didn't get stopped earlier.
I believe he got hit, he did, but he slipped more on the big Palmerbet banner. By that stage, very wet. They need to get someone out there when they've got big banners. Yeah. They're great for promotion and sponsorship, but I think they do have to be attended to when they're on the canvas, especially at the main event fight. They can get a little bit slippery, but the ref had seen enough.
Yeah. Well, Gallen did get hit, but if you look at his feet, he slipped. Mm-hmm. He done the splits like that. So I think they've got to do something about those logos on the
He
mats.
was a bit wobbly though, probably a bit of both. He slipped, but he was also hurt. What that fight showed is that Justice Huni is one of the most talented boxers to come out of Australia, and that Paul Gallen, I think, deserves the respect from the boxing community because he gave Justice probably one of the best fights that Justice has had so far.
Yeah, I take my hat off to Gallen. He showed up on at Channel 9 and commentated the football on the weekend with, a lot of makeup and obviously a busted rib, but travelling with that busted rib would have been hard. Yeah. Oh, at least. And, my hat goes off to him. Absolute legend. 26th of June, this Saturday, we have a huge charity event up in Townsville. The main event is Mark Bam Bam Flanagan versus Ben Kelleher. It's all about charity and giving back to disadvantaged youth. We have Bam Bam here in the studios. He's going to talk us through why he's come back and why this is important to him. Mark Bam Bam Flanagan, mate, how are you? And welcome to the studio.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I've seen a few episodes and it's felt nice to be on the couch for once.
Yeah, mate, you're in the chair. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels good. It's a nice chair.
Thank you. Obviously, this is an important subject and close to home. Talk to us why it's important to you.
Well, being from up north and kind of experiencing all the stuff that goes on up there, and there's not really much government funding or anyone really doing anything about the youth crime, and it's not so much trying to fight the crime, but trying to give the kids something to do, and give them good role models to follow. You don't have to be from this great background to achieve anything. Most of the guys on the card have come from rough households, and and they're showing what they can do themselves through boxing and through sport. And this fight night's just an example of showing the youth of North Queensland what can be done.
Shotgun, how important is this, having, giving the kids a disadvantaged youth a plan B, get a bit of discipline, boxing, giving back?
Oh yeah, that's massive. I just got goosebumps when he was saying that. To be able to turn your life around, it's focusing it, and these guys are giving these kids something to look at and say, if they can do it, I can do it.
Cam, hats off to the entire team for coming up with this idea.
Like guys like Liam Parrish from Townsville,
Up there, yep.
Frosty as well. Like they're all going up there already doing like these talks and these training sessions and stuff. It's good to be bringing like a big event to Townsville, and even like just promoting boxing, because boxing is the best way out of like a troubled life. You go to a boxing gym, you train with everyone, no one judges you, so no, it's massive.
Bam Bam, how'd this come about, mate?
My old trainer, Dennis Clancy, he's like an elder to everybody in the community, and he's volunteered his time for the past, 20, 30 years, but he wanted to do something big. And with the help of Angelo at Ace Boxing, he was able to do that. And he gave me a call, and I was pretty happy being 20 kilos overweight and fat, and pizza was life. And I'm going to have a bit of weight to lose, but I said, I'll do it for you. All you got to do is just give me a hard fight. I don't want to be coming back after 2 years and losing all this weight for me to knock someone over. Give me a hard fight, and I'm on board. How
good's the response been up north with the community, knowing that this fight night's going to be on?
It's been good. Everyone's been sharing everything, and there's been a lot of talk up there, and I get messages all the time from people and how keen they are for the event and keen to see me fight again. And it'd be good to see a lot of the young kids there too, from the neighbourhoods, because this is about them. I'm already organising to have a few of those kids come and walk out with me to the fight, and with Ben as well. We're going to have a few kids walk out with Ben as well. I think we're both going to bring all our belts with us, and they can hold our belts and walk out, and just give a little something for them to do, and hopefully it excites them a bit and shows them, this is pretty cool, and I could do something like this one day too,
Showing these kids this kind of attention, it's definitely going to spark a bit of life into them, Shotgun.
Oh, absolutely. Like there's probably no better way than showing kids like that there's a different option in life. And I mean, you literally can't have both options. You've got to choose one or the other, and that's awesome.
I think it's massive because obviously Mark's a big role model in Townsville. So, to be able to walk out and hold belts, like I remember growing up, like watching the boxing, thinking to myself, my dream would be to walk out one day like that. So to hold someone's belt, it's going to motivate him to, one day achieve what you've achieved.
And how's camp been, champ?
Camp's been good. It's been I think it was about 20 or 18 weeks is when I got the call for the fight, which is a blessing because I was so fat. And it was not good. And so mainly I used the first half of the camp to lose the weight, and then once the weight started coming off, I started doing the boxing side of things, and it all sort of just fell into place like naturally, And it's weird, like most people know, when you start camp, you might not be fit and on weight, but you're fresh, like your joints don't hurt, everything's running smooth. You're like, oh, this is not bad, And
I
then,
could almost do this again.
Yeah. And then closer to the fight, you're like, okay, everything's starting to hurt again. So. But no, it's been good, and I found a new little kick in my step now, getting ready for this fight, and you never know, this might not be just a one-hit wonder on the way back.
He's a different man. Like, when was it when you were standing in the corner, the last Ace boxing fight?
That's when we spoke to him, and we found out about it,
It was massive. You look like a weightlifter, man.
Yeah.
Now he's like full trimmed up.
112 kilos, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. What are you now, you reckon?
93.
It's going to be an absolute banger and for a good cause. Mate, what can we expect?
We've sparred before, and when we spar, as long as we're not trying to knock each other out after we've hurt each other, it's no different. We're both still trying to hurt each other, except for when you land a good shot, you kind of just ease off a bit because it's sparring. Except for this time in the fight, if someone lands a good shot, we're gonna have to finish it. You know what I mean?
Jump on it.
That's right. So I think come fight night, we're going to be both professionals, and it's going to be a good fight, I think.
Shotgun, if Mark Bam Bam Flanagan decides to come back, this is going to light up the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, for sure. I reckon there's some good fights there.
Does Ace Boxing need another cruiserweight come up?
No, there's heaps. But it's about getting to fight each other. That's what's good that him and Ben are fighting.
Oh, Bam Bam seems keen. He's nodded away straight away.
I'll fight them all.
You've heard it here first. Now, they are some great fights. Obviously, Casey Caswell, Luke Medini. They've got Kato. They've got Floyd Masson.
That's right. It's Masson.
It is
Masson.
Masson. Brett. Brett.
Brett.
Mark Benman Flanagan, thanks for coming on the show, mate. Obviously, this is going to be a great event and for an amazing cause. Can't wait to see you there.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
From there, we moved to Nissan Arena, where we saw an exhibition match between Dave Hadfield and Ricky Silva. That was a great little hit out. Then we saw the debut of Ben Cameron Hands, looking very strong. A notable mention there as well. Austin Akuzo coming out, looking great in his amateur debut. Vegas Larfield getting an opponent, making short work of him. He looked good as well. And then we moved to a title fight. Jess Cashman, the super flyweight Queensland title, against a tough girl. She showed up. Not a bad little fight, Shotgun.
Yeah, it was a good little fight. Good hit out for Jess. She's got a lot of heart, Jess. She loves the sport, so it was good to see her win that Queensland title.
Jack Bowen's opponent, very last minute. Connor Wallace has mentioned his name as a possible call out. Jack said he's going to campaign at middleweight. Connor at light heavy, so that fight probably won't happen. From there, we move to Rowan Murdoch, Les Sherington. Scrappy first 2 rounds. Rowan finally finding the range and getting him out in the third.
Yeah, look, I think that, the fight was always going to end the way it did. Rowan obviously has been out of the ring for a long time, so any fight is a better fight than no fight.
But Rowan Murdoch winning Jade Mitchell, Zach Dunn, obviously Mateo Tapia is up there as well.
I've always said for years, I've said Rowan Murdoch and Jade Mitchell would be a great fight.
Great fight, Kama.
They need to do it. I think they're both at that level where they're not at the top. They're at that level where they've got to have a good win to get to the top. So
and they both need a fight.
Yeah.
Like, they both need a decent fight.
There we have it, a night to remember at Nissan Arena held by the Boxing Shop. Gareth and Shara doing a great night and a great event, and this is how it went down. All stars in the house, Benny Hussein, Liam Wilson. We're here for a night to remember. Not a bad night of fights.
It's good, mate. Yeah, action-packed. Some good quality ones. It's got the crowd into it, and a fight from the gym, Vegas Larfield, he fought. So, yeah, full fight. Good to see him, get climb the rankings, and yeah.
His old mate tried to light him up in the first 15 seconds, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure. He did a good dance in there too. That was my favourite bit of the whole night.
It was entertaining. Yeah, no, he come to fight, which is good. Come to fight, and he's tough too. Very tough.
Good to see young Ben Cameron Hands getting out there as well.
Yeah, it was his debut. Was it his debut? It was. Hey, it was good. Could have done nice and quick. Yeah, he was good, very good amateur too. So it'd be interesting to see how he goes as a pro, and keep climb the ranks like we all are. He's young too. Heaps of time to grow and turn himself into something.
And obviously, we've got Jack Bowen, Rowan Murdoch. There's been some big names on, Benny.
Yeah, for sure. There's been heaps of big names. I'm excited to watch Rowan fight in a minute. I think he'll put on a masterclass, so I'm very excited. Yeah.
Good to see Austin get away. A lot of crowd support for the teams. It's been great.
It's good. It's good crowd here. Very, very good venue.
Austin performs incredible. He just put on, because he fought him twice in the amateurs. So that was a huge improvement from the way they fought in the amateurs. Yeah, definitely.
The champ's right there, baby. Let's go.
We were just talking about you. Just talking about how he was proud of you for that fight. That must feel pretty good hearing that.
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, it's good to see my brother here. Yeah.
So when do you get your jacket?
I don't know. He's gonna leave that one with me. And I'm just gonna sell it and grab my money.
Yeah, look, it's great to see the deep talent pool here. And there's some cracking fights, like you said, and lots of big finishes. What the crowd loves to see, don't they? So that was good, and a lot of people will move forward, and I look forward to seeing the rest of them. And like you said, Vegas, Larfield as well, and he looks really good. He looks very compact, and his shots are really good. I was very impressed there too, and Bowen as well. Just really good. And I just, as they step up, it'll be interesting to see. And I'll be, following their careers very closely.
I'm not going to fight anymore. That was me complete. So Les Sherington is retired. Please don't ask me to fight again, because I'll probably say yes, and I don't want to. So I really like being retired now. That was a good crack. I trained really hard for 7 weeks, which was great. I'm going to enjoy time with my wife and my daughter, and get my business up and running.
Les Sherington, thank you very much for all you've done for this sport. Anyone you want to call out?
Man, anyone in Australian boxing, man, let's get it on. Like we're struggling right now with bringing people in. We've got some big names in Australian boxing, so let's make these fights happen. So we can both all test ourselves.
There's been talks of possibly Jade Mitchell, Zach Dunn.
Either of them, I'm happy with. Let's do it.
The other side of the charity event up in Townsville is Ben Kelleher. Ben joins us in the studio right now. Ben, how are you, mate?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Mate, a pleasure. This will be your, third time on the couch?
Yeah, third time on the couch.
Yes, he's a favourite of ours.
I'm waiting to get my spot. On that
Yeah. You're going to knock Joel out of the way, you reckon?
We're not Shannon.
No.
I don't want to fight Shannon.
Now, Ben, this is an important event, a great cause, helping out disadvantaged youth up in Townsville. What's this mean to you?
One community, one standard's a pretty good initiative. I'm one of the kids that could have sort of gone either way as well. Like I come from fairly humble beginnings, so when I heard about the cause and what it represented, I was keen as. And I've worked with disadvantaged youth for quite some time as well. I've done work in detention centres and stuff with young men that aren't necessarily the most privileged.
Great ambassadors. They couldn't have chosen two better guys for the job, Shotgun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, both of them represent like the brand very well. Loves to be an underdog.
It's all good.
This is a great fight. Obviously, Mark had to cut a lot more weight than you did. How's camp been for you?
Camp's been very good. I feel like I'm maturing a fair bit and it's helping with my preparation, you know. So my head's in a good space, and that's the only real thing that I need to get right is my own head.
Is this your final hurrah? You've said that it was going to be. Is it?
Never say never.
Yeah, I'm one of. Look, I want it to be because I have so many other things I want to turn my attention to, and this is my 70th fight across 3 sports, and I'm getting to the point now where I'm like ready to, finish strongly. If it's a successful campaign, which I hope it is, and which I've prepared for, then maybe. But then you beat Mark Flanagan, one of our most decorated cruiserweights ever, and what doors does that open? So it's kind of a hard decision for me at the moment. I'll have to see. Yeah.
Boxing is a tough mistress to get rid of, isn't it, Shotgun?
Absolutely. People ask me all the time, when is your last fight? When are you going to retire? I retire when my body doesn't let me go anymore because my mind is always going to want to go.
And you're winning at the moment. There's no reason why you should. Yeah. Kama?
People are always asking me, like, what age does a boxer retire? And, like, I don't know, you got about 2-3 years left in you. And I'm like, look at Shannon. Like,
Someone get this kid a mouth guard.
No, seriously, like, as you get older, you're like, man, I've got a life after boxing. How about we use that shoulder sometimes?
Yeah.
That showed in your last fight, man. You were like turning your shoulder.
Beautifully against the ropes. Yeah. Beautifully. And easy work.
Yeah, I feel like it's you can't apply those same principles to every fight though. Like I'm not going to stand there and let Mark Flanagan punch my shoulders and body. I don't want to do that. But no, certainly I started boxing 3 years ago.
3 years of boxing, he's fought the who's who in the cruiserweight divisions.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Speaking of Ben Kelleher, it's always one of the nicer things you can do. He's a great ambassador for the sport. He's one of the nicest guys getting around. But how have you prepared for Mark Bam Bam Flanagan?
I've been training pretty hard. I've had the help of obviously Kyle Brumby. Lincoln Hudson from New South Wales has been helping me a lot. He's a really great guy. I've had some great sparring with Daniel Russell, who was preparing for Kane Watts in Melbourne. Daniel and Mark aren't too dissimilar in the way that they box because they're both very square like boxers, so that helped me a lot. Obviously doesn't help that Mark hits very hard, so I just need to keep moving my feet, stay mobile and not be there for him.
How important is it to have the support of Ace Boxing Promotions to make this kind of thing happen for charity?
Well, Angelo and Alfie and the team have always been really supportive of all the little causes, you know what I mean? I'm really lucky to know them and be a part of their team. The initiative's cool. I like the idea that one community, one standard are working with them. It's really important. I'm really happy to be a part of it. And I just want to make sure that the night goes really well and I can do something good. I feel like it's going to be successful.
Oh, look, it feels like it's going to be an absolutely special night. Ben Kelleher, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
No Limit has come forward and announced that they have an international opponent for Liam Wilson. July 7 just got bigger. Liam Wilson will be fighting Joe Neumann, who is number 7 in the WBO and in the top 15 across 3 sanctioning bodies. He's in quarantine at the moment, but they have broken the ice and they've got an international opponent. How important is that for Australian boxing shotgun?
Oh, that's massive, and I guess it sets the limits now that, like, if they can do it, then other people can do it as well.
It shows how much power they got, because it wouldn't be cheap to fly down an opponent from overseas, quarantine or whatever. But it's a great opponent for Liam.
So, like, is this guy allowed to train, and like, is he allowed to leave the room at all?
So under quarantine rules, you have to do the 2 weeks in there. So obviously this is part of camp. Not a bad move if you're the opponent for the A side. But look, obviously the guy's a dangerous fighter and has come to fight.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for Joe Nune. He hasn't fought for a while, but you know, most people haven't fought for a while as well. So it'll be I think a good test for Liam.
Look, July 7th, this is enormous. So this is exactly what Liam Wilson needed. And now we've heard, obviously, Paul Showtime Fleming versus Miles Zalewski. This is a great fight, shotgun. How do you see this fight going?
Oh, look, in Paul's last fight, I just thought he was a completely different Paul that anyone's ever seen. And if he fights like that, then I don't think Miles will be able to upset that. But it's a massive step up for Miles. Like massive credit to him for taking it.
Cammy, you've seen some rounds lately between Liam Wilson and Miles Zalewski. What's your take on this fight?
I think Miles is one of those guys that not too many know about outside the boxing scene, but he's got a lot of skill. Paul Fleming, gunfighter, he's been at the top in that. But I don't know, I think it's a better fight than people think.
I tend to agree with Cameron on this one. Obviously, Paul Fleming coming up, and he had the first fight back against Tarimo. You could see there was a little bit of ring rust. Obviously, no ring rust when he fought Tyson Lantry. But Miles Zalewski, not going to be any pushover. Since he's come back, he's gone from strength to strength, being Liam Wilson's sparring partner. And look, when you start to talk to the boxing community, could be a bit of a dangerous fight for Paul Showtime Fleming, but an absolute barn burner for the fans.
Yeah, for sure. I think as well, Miles has got a massive heart, so he's never gonna sit down. Obviously, I mean, sparring with Liam, you can't sit down. But I think it's gonna be a great fight.
Guys, so much to talk about, so much has happened. We've had over 74,000 views across all the content that we've put out in the last 7 days. So it's been absolutely enormous. We can't thank the boxing community enough. We've got so much support and so many positive comments coming back to us. So thank you guys for that. And still so much more to talk about on next week's episode. Willis Mann versus Django. Huge fight in the heavyweight division. Beck Hawker fighting for a WBC Australasia title. We've got Christian Thun, the undefeated German. And Lucas Big Daddy Brown has decided to put his hand up for that fight. It was supposed to be in Dubai. It looks like it's going to be in Las Vegas, but so much is happening. When we still got to look forward yet to Ace Boxing Promotions this weekend in Townsville, and July 7th, Zarafa versus Zoo. Guys, it's going off.
It's huge, huge. Now looking forward to all the upcoming events.
So there we wrap the show. I'm Rob Scheif and you're watching Before the Fight.